All right, Bill, the Senate Homeland Security Committee is set to hear from a COVID-19 whistleblower. This morning, Chairman Rand Paul with a preview of what to expect.
We're going to have a whistleblower who's coming in from the CIA to talk about how the swamp, the intelligence community, has been covering up about the origins of COVID. For many years, I've said the government was involved, not only in funding this research, but then in trying to obscure the truth. And the truth is the U.S. government funded research in Wuhan, China, and that research led to a virus that escaped the lab, in all likelihood accidentally. I think this whistleblower will help to confirm that this was known, has been known for a long time, and that when the scientists at the CIA looked at this, they discovered, or they concluded, that the virus had come from the lab.
Josh Holmes is co-host of the Ruthless Podcast and joins us now. Josh, I imagine the American public has great interest in listening to what comes from this. Do you anticipate this to be a revealing morning?
Yeah, I think it is, and I actually commend Senator Paul for staying on this topic. Most politicians in D.C. at this point have a high-level allergy to even mentioning the word COVID, but he stayed on this right from the very beginning. Of course, his thesis all along was that this was a gain of function that the U.S. participated in the research at Wuhan lab, something that Tom Cotton, by the way, when he was first mentioned it, castigated by not only government officials but the media alike. And now we find, I think, an awful lot of evidence to suggest that that is in fact the case, but there has never been anybody who sort of put the tack in the wall and said this is the evidence, and I think that's what he's attempting to do here.
Well, Josh, this is more from that conversation with our Bill Melugin and Senator Rand Paul, a preview of what to expect this morning.
What we're going to find is that the cover-up is a real thing, that there are members of the community, the intelligence community, that still don't want the truth to come out.
Has this person testified before Congress before?
Never publicly testified before Congress.
What does it say to you that this person's willing to come forward, put their name out there, put their face out there, go under oath?
I think it's pretty important. Some of the most important things we have learned about it have actually come from whistleblowers.
So, Josh, those whistleblowers, to his point, have been a key part in uncovering this alleged cover-up.
Yeah, no question about it. And I think they've done a great job of running down people who are not only have insight into this, but they are willing to come forward, which is not something you typically see from the Intelligence Committee writ large. This has been a problem. What we don't really understand is why. I mean, I think we've connected enough dots over the last few years, including a former FBI director who said as much right on Fox one day about, yes, and we do believe it's from the lab in Wuhan, and there may have been gain of function funding for all of that. I don't know why that secret is still such a state secret, that there are people in the intelligence community that want to keep that quiet, but I think that's what Rand Paul is going to get at with his testimony today.
All right, now to a different subject and another look ahead this morning. This is Speaker Johnson earlier today giving a midterm outlook, especially amid the recent redistricting battles happening with Democrats, and sort of gives a hint of the shifting strategy come November. Listen.
We think the analysis is by the end of all this, when you correct all that, Republicans probably pick up between 7 and 8 seats and maybe double digits, depending on how many states get involved. That's obviously a good thing for the outcome of the election, and it gives us an even greater chance to win the House. You have a president who's running like it's 2024. He's out on the campaign trail as well because the stakes are so high. We can't lose the majority in the House because it would come crashing down around him. And you're going to have a lot of factors in play that have not been a factor in previous midterms. We're going to win.
So there's that, Josh, and there is this from Politico on the Democrats' midterm messaging, RE redistricting. With little to no chances left to redistrict ahead of November to counter GOP gains of 10 favorable House seats or more, Democrats are stuck doing something they know all too well, blaming President Donald Trump and hoping it will spur voters to turn out for them in the midterms. Give us your outlook, Josh.
Yeah, the entire redistricting war has been a great big game of high-stakes musical chairs, and whoever moves last before the music stops wins. And in this case, the music just stopped, and what happened was a hugely disappointing outcome for Democrats in Virginia, and a whole bunch of southern states responding to the Supreme Court decision on the Civil Rights Act that did some redistricting of their own in response to what they thought was going to happen in Virginia. So I think they came up without a chair here, and Speaker Johnson is in a position where they start from a much better place than they would have with a very slim majority, with, as what he said, 7 or 8, potentially even more seats that are Republican favored at this point. It is still going to be extremely challenging midterm, though, and this is something that both parties have experienced when they're in power. Very difficult to hold on, but Republicans start in a much better place here.
Already the middle of May and November will be here before we know it. Josh, thank you very much for joining us this morning. All right, Bill?
Thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.